Thank you for joining us today, ma'am. Today we have with us Miss Anahita Dhondi. Miss Anahita Dhondi is a very young and successful, talented chef. After her class 12, she has been passionate about cooking since the age of 10. She used to help around the kitchen with her mom, and her mom is her inspiration because she used to cater Parsi food and bake cakes. So thank you for joining us, ma'am. Today I'm really delighted to be interviewing you. So
So much.
you have been successful at a very young age. So what more do you want to achieve? And please take us through your journey.
Okay, so firstly, I'm really happy to be here to talk to you. And as you know, we're all in a situation where we're in a lockdown. So, speaking to you from my home office right now. But I'll just quickly give you a little gist of my journey. As Pratna introduced, I'm Anahita Dhoni, I'm a chef. I've been in the hospitality industry for more than 10 years now. But when I started at a very young age. I started helping my mom out in the kitchen, and that was maybe around the age of 8 or 9. And I was really, really passionate. So she saw that, and she told me that why don't you help me out? And she started giving me a little bit of work, and she saw that I was super passionate about it. So I actually got a lot of confidence from my mom. And then by the time I was about 12 or 13, I was for sure, like I was really, really certain that I wanted to get into the culinary world and I wanted to be a chef. So I started researching, I started getting in touch with some chefs in the industry. I started researching on my colleges, where do I want to apply. And I always wanted to go to Le Cordon Bleu, which was in London. But before that, I also wanted to do my graduation. So I looked for an institute in India, and I applied when I was getting through to my, to a university. And when I was applying, I applied to a lot of colleges, and I did get through a lot of them. I even got through, DU, but I didn't take it up because there was no point. I got really good marks in my boards. I got 91%, which was really good. But now kids get like 96, 98. So now it's
so impressive.
Yeah, but it was good. And even though a lot of people told me that, go to DU and, you can, this is 10 years back, you can get into a really good college. But I was hell bent, and I said that no, I want to get into a culinary institute. So I went to IHM Aurangabad, and I did my BA Honours in Culinary Arts, which is a 3-year program plus a 1-year training program. And in those 3 years, I also interned in a lot of places. So I didn't waste any time. All my summer vacations or any time that I had off, I was working in some hotel or the other. So I worked at JW and Taj and Marriott and most of these chains. And after I completed my college and my training, I got an opportunity from the Taj group, and they asked me if I wanted to work with them. But I decided that I wanted to pursue, studying more. So I went to Le Cordon Bleu, London, and that's where I did my grand diploma, which is, more into, French cuisine and pastry, both. And that's where I actually found my passion for cooking Parsi food, because when I left India and went to London, that's when I realized that I really, really miss, my home cooked food. And I started cooking a lot of Parsi food and a lot of Indian food in London. And when I came back to India in 2013, I met the restaurateur, Mr. A.D. Singh, who's the owner of Olive Bar and Kitchen and the whole chain. And he was planning a restaurant called Soda Bottle Loknawala with a chef who's also my mentor, Chef Sabi. I joined in at the age of 23, and it's been 7 years now. The brand has grown, I have grown. There's so much that I have learned, in the journey from 2013 to 2020. And a lot of ups and lots of downs and lots of learnings. So yeah, that's just been my journey in a little bit of a gist.
Yeah, ma'am, it's so amazing. You started at such a young age, 23, and like you always knew as a child that this is what you wanted to do. You started as chef manager, and now today you are chef partner at Soda Bottle Loknawala with many prestigious awards to your name. And one of the most prestigious list of the world, the 30 and Forbes 30 and the 30, which is amazing, ma'am. It's so wonderful how you followed your passion and you like are so successful from it. So,
Thank you.
ma'am, according to you, what are the qualities of a good food and beverage professional?
So, according to me, and especially something that I look for when I am, hiring people in my kitchen or in my restaurant, or even, otherwise when we're working, I always look for someone who is really excited, really hardworking, very sincere. Someone who does not or is not afraid of a challenge. As you know, and as a lot of people know, that the kitchen environment is usually a lot of it's very high pressure, the environment. So there are lots of orders coming in. You're standing all day. It is exhausting. So when someone comes in for an interview, I always ask them that are they ready to put in that time and effort. A lot of kids, and this is just genuine feedback, not for you, just for everyone who's watching and for the generation who's going to be applying to a lot of restaurants and kitchens. When you get into a restaurant or a kitchen, you have to make sure that you're giving it the time that you have. I see a lot of people being on their phones all the time at work, and I'm talking about the young chefs who've joined and who've trained. They're always on their phones. They want to be on Instagram. They want to be doing this. They want to take pictures. Absolutely, you should do that, but don't forget your core, values and core work. You have to be present in the moment, and you have to be working really, really hard. And if you show that quality, then you're going to rise up the ranks because your skills are going to improve. You're going to be more hardworking. You're going to get noticed for your work and not for the fact that you're cutting corners or you're on your phone or whatever it might be. And I have seen that in so many kids. Not that I'm not a kid myself, but I just see that in a lot of people, and I just tell them that yes, social media is important, but it's not the core of your work. Your skills are in your fingers and your hands, the way you work in a kitchen, how clean you are, how good you are, how efficient you are. And most importantly, how long are you actually standing there and working? So I see all these things, and I have a conversation with, the young chefs who come to my kitchen. And I always speak to them and tell them that this is, something that I look forward to.
Yeah, ma'am, I'm sure being in the kitchen, it's a very hard job, standing all day and in hot kitchens, just like constantly. It's very fast-paced job, and it takes a lot of commitment, I'm sure. So the career is one where you have to be really innovative and keep thinking of new ideas. So how do you think of these new ideas and innovative recipes?
So I just feel like, my approach is, like a mystery basket. I don't know if you've seen MasterChef Australia, but
Yeah, I love it. I love watching this show.
Yeah, so it's one of my favorite shows, and I'm currently binge watching it, and it's just ridiculous. And as a chef, I literally sit down with a pen and paper when I'm watching MasterChef because I put myself there as a contestant, and I keep giving myself challenges, even though I'm not cooking. But for example, if there's a mystery basket of chicken and some herbs and some fruit and something else, I'll be like, okay, if I have got that, what would I cook with it? So I usually challenge myself in ways like that just to keep myself active, especially in times like this when the restaurant is shut and I'm at home. I need to keep my mind busy. I do the same thing at home with my refrigerator. Okay, this is getting spoiled. Let's use this first. Let's create this. Or, we don't want to waste anything. So I have a zero waste policy where I don't let anything go to waste. So how do you take care of your vegetables? How do you take care of your ingredients? How do you store them properly so that you don't waste them? I think those are, things that I'm super passionate about, and I follow them in my daily life. So I just keep innovating with things that are around me. I love doing that. But I think you can only reach this stage of innovating when you know your basics. If you know how to make a basic cake, you know how to make a pie crust, you know how to make a, for example, a crepe batter, you know how to cook chicken properly, or you know how to make a nice salad dressing, only then can you improvise and be like, okay, you know what, I have raspberries and maybe I can use them not only in a dessert but make a salad out of it. or make a frozen something out of it, or make something baked out of it, because I have some bread which is going bad. So bread which is going bad, raspberries which are there, mix it up, make a pudding, make something out of it. So there are situations that I put myself into so that I can innovate.
It's so interesting to see that a show MasterChef it's just like entertainment and time pass for most of the world, but it's so
Yeah.
cool to see that it's like a learning place for you. And
I mean, you have to constantly learn. There's no way in the culinary world that you can be like, okay, I know it all. I've studied. I've got a degree. I mean, Le Cordon Bleu has given me this degree, so I know everything. Or I've studied from IHM. I know everything. That is the worst approach for anyone. Even people who've studied from the best universities and the best colleges. You have to constantly keep challenging yourself as an individual. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to learn.
I agree. If you don't challenge it, you'll just meet the dead.
Absolutely.
And I remember, ma'am, you taught us in our school. We did a workshop at our school, and I remember you taught us how to how to implement the zero waste thing. And it's something I still use at our home whenever there's a leftover dal or a sabzi with the things you taught us. And it's so cool to see that we don't need to waste things. And along with following your passion, you're also helping take care of the environment and make sure that food is not being wasted.
Yeah, I mean, it's each one of us are responsible for the environment, and there's no point blaming, the generations above us. We just have to come in and we have to be like, okay, we have to do this. We have to bring about this change. And how do we bring about the change in the environment that we're currently living in? We have to do it ourselves. Nobody's going to spoon feed you. Nobody's going to do it for you. If you want to see an improvement in the environment, your choices have to be sustainable. Don't buy a plastic bottle or reuse a bottle that's come to you as a gift. Like constantly, as chefs and people in the industry, we get gifted so many things, and I try and maximize the way I can kind of, if I can save the paper, if I can save the ribbon, if I can save anything. And a lot of people think that that's such a trivial thing, or it's you're being conjuice, or you're just, why are you saving all these things, or it's just a load of rubbish. But I feel whatever you can do, you can start doing that from your home. Wasting paper, or it might be your ingredients or your vegetables or your clothes. Less is more, and I think the younger generation is realizing that, and I hope that they are going to be really, really forceful in implementing it.
Yeah, I hope so too. So, ma'am, cooking has always been your hobby, and it's been something you've enjoyed since a young age, and you managed to turn it into an extremely successful career and something you still enjoy. So, what are your tips and advice to any young people who want to do the same?
So my tips and advice are, I mean, very, very simple. Try finding what you love doing. I think that's most important. And especially at your age, when you're in school, I love the fact that, in school, you're thrown into so many different activities. You might be doing painting, or you might be doing a dance thing, or you might be doing a drama thing, or, you might be singing, or whatever it might be. I think it's important to just get that exposure at a very young age where you can do all these things. Try your hand at it and see what you love the most. And I'm really happy that my school, which is Springdale School, it had a home science lab. I don't see places having home science labs anymore, which is really sad. And I'm so glad that they had it, because I took it up as a subject as well. And it really helped me, in deciding what I wanted to do. Because it was, even though it was not culinary, but it had a certain amount of culinary or food preparation, food production, which was part of the curriculum. So I feel there should be enough options for young people to explore. And once you explore it, once you find what you love doing, just keep building on that. And it can be from your house, it can be at a tuition, it can be at your teacher's place, or it can be in a classroom, it can be anywhere. But just make sure that you follow your passion. And if you find it at a young age, try building on it. If you find it later, obviously pursue it. Because that's going to make you feel really happy at what you do, and you won't work a day in your life. So
I agree. Like there's this quote I once heard that find something you love, and it's also said by a very famous culinary chef, so Mr. Zorawar Kalra. He spoke at our school, and this is the line that stuck with me: that find something you love and find a way how to make money out of it, and you will be happy for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I mean, for me, what my dad, he told me the same thing, and he said that, find something that you love and you won't feel like you've worked a day in your life, which I feel is really, really important. I mean, money is important, no doubt. But when young people start, when I started, I mean, I also used to get like 5,000 rupees a month. So, don't think about the money in the beginning, because I know money is required to sustain, but your experiences are actually going to make you who you are. So, those experiences are really, really needed.
Yeah, I agree. It's the memories that you make in the journey that you will remember.
Yes.
So, ma'am, where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? About what do you think you'll be?
Where do I see myself in the next 10 years? Obviously, I see myself cooking, even then. I don't see myself stopping that. But I do see myself doing a lot more work, in the education sector, writing more books, doing more classes, educating people more about, the practices in your kitchen. I do see that, coming up in a big way. Restaurants are not going to go anywhere. Food is not going to go anywhere. It's going to be part of our lives always, and part of our daily thought processes at home. Ki aaj kya banaye, lunch, dinner. Yeah. It happens in every household. It happens in every restaurant when we plan menus. So I feel I do see myself connected to food always. I never see a disconnect like that, and I see myself working really, really hard. To achieve all that I want to achieve in the next 10 years and more.
Cooking is like, it's a constant thing in our lives, and plus I think this quarantine time is very beneficial. What is your advice to like girls aged like about 15, 20, and like how do you think they should prepare themselves for the future? Just in general.
I feel, there's no particular preparation that you need to go through, or no particular training. The only thing that you need to do is, firstly, not compare yourself to anyone else. You are unique. The things that you want to do are unique. Person, girl or boy, they all have their own unique talents. So firstly, what I would say is, whatever your unique talent is, or whatever you love doing, keep doing that, and don't let anyone put you down and tell you that, oh, you're a girl and you can't do this, or you have to prove yourself. Don't let anyone say that to you, because you are no less than a boy, especially. And if someone says that to you, then please make sure that you've proved it to them, that they do not say this to anyone else. Ever. And that's happened to me as well many times, and I have always given back an answer and said that please don't compare. I can do the same thing as a boy does, and I can do it better. And the only thing is that society hasn't seen women in so many important and high roles that those questions come about. But women are so good at multitasking, they're so good at working, they're so good at loving what they do. So whichever field they are, they will excel in it if they are able to put the time and effort, and if they have the support of their family. If they don't have the support of the family, it's very difficult for a woman, because she has to constantly prove herself. So explaining your family what you want to do, getting their support and what you want to do. I see a lot of young people who come to me, a lot of young girls and boys actually, and they ask me that, my parents are not allowing me to become a chef or get into the culinary industry. And I have spoken to so many parents and told them that, this is what the person wants to do, this is what the person loves to do, so let them do it, other than forcing them to do engineering or forcing them to become a doctor, because they're never going to be happy with it.
Yeah, exactly.
So the support of your family is really important. Make them believe in your dreams, make them understand that this is what you love doing. And never let anyone compare you to a boy, or say that you can't do anything.
Yes, I agree. We need to put ourselves on the pedestal, think we're equal, only then everyone will.
Yeah, we have to put ourselves out there. We have to prove ourselves. We have to work really hard. It is a situation we have to, prove ourselves because that's the way society is. And as soon as you start proving yourselves, they realize that you're better than men. You're actually really good at your job.
Yeah. If you had to define, ma'am, if you had to define the term Supergirl, how would you define it? Like, what does Supergirl mean to you?
I would define Supergirl as someone who can do what they love doing and spread a lot of happiness while doing it. So, you're happy doing something and you're also spreading that happiness. So, for example, if I write a recipe and I get really excited when I've created it and I've made it and I've tasted it, and then someone else tries it out and, sends me a message. And that for me is like the ultimate thing. I'm just like, it just makes me feel so good that person took out time, trusted the recipe, made it, and, sent me a message, took out time to send me a message. So, that it just makes you feel really grateful. So I feel, if I had to define Supergirl, it would be something that, a person or a woman who loves doing what she does and she does it every day and she also spreads a lot of happiness.
And ma'am, so my last question to you for today is that success is a very broad thing and it means something different to everyone. But to you, what does success mean to you?
I think success for me means being happy and most importantly being very, very grounded. There's no success without your family. So make sure that you have them around you, you spread it with them, you share it with them. You share it with your colleagues. For example, if I won an award, share it with, my team. Because without your team, without your family, without people around you who love you and who support you, you won't be the person that you are today. So you have to give them a lot of credit. Yes, you worked very hard as well. And I know I worked really hard as well, but I have to do a lot more. And I can't do it without the support of my family.
That's very, very nice. That obviously you should include everyone that makes you who you are.
Yeah, because without the support, you wouldn't be where you are. So colleagues, your bosses, some client who's done some really good work with, you've done some really good work with them, or your editor who's published your book, or, a company who supported you. Most importantly, your mom and dad and your brother and your sister, people around you who make you feel really good and they support you and they tell you that, go for it and do this and, do what you love doing. They're your biggest cheerleaders and, without them, there's no success.
Thank you, ma'am, for joining me today. And I'm sure everybody who watches learned a lot, and I also learned a lot from you, and you are somebody I look up to, and thank you.
Thank you so much and good luck with everything that you're doing. Keep working really, really hard and I'm sure you'll get where you want to get.